When I started in real estate, like no one really talked about running a business in real estate. Like it was sort of like people were just selling.
But you know what? I don't think a lot of agents run businesses.
Still
like,
to this day,
I think if you actually were like, hey, you want to chat about your P&L with me? They'd go.
Do you know the first time I ever heard about any of this stuff was at Keller Williams. And I think that was the first place where I learned about, hiring an admin and knowing your numbers and leverage.
Creating a 30, 60, 90 and following 33 through.
touch, right? Yep. So I think that, like you said, a lot of people might learn these things, but they don't actually implement them. I'm Cynthia Ostels, team leader and broker at eXp Realty here in the Greater Toronto Area. Welcome to Beyond the Sale, a real estate podcast where we discuss everything beyond the sale. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sale. I am super, super excited to be here today with Kyrsten Feere.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm just like thrilled to have you here because we have so much to talk about.
And so much in common.
Yes. So we met and we were trying to figure this out before we started filming.
I think it was like 2013. When did you join Keller? Because it would have been
I joined Keller, it was 2015.
Okay, 2015.
We met in 2015. Wow, we did. Almost a decade. And at that time, you were there as,
I was an agent. Yeah, with a mother-daughter team at the time. Got licensed in 2012. So it would have been in my third year.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, and did you start out as an agent or were you?
Nope, I was an admin. Wow. So I started as an admin, like I said, for a mother-daughter team. Did that, got my license, stayed doing that for about a year and then kind of focused on sales.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. So you started, like you just said, as an admin.
Yep.
And now, flash forward, how many years later?
12 years. We're 2024. 12 years later. So I'm the team leader of the Kyrsten Feere Team. And I have a team of 7, which is comprised of myself, 3 agents, 2 licensed assistants, and then 1 sales manager.
Okay, this is crazy. So she went from being an admin to now this amazing team leader and super mom, guys. She's also a mom.
A mom of 1.
We're going to be chatting about that. Tell us about your little one.
Okay, so her name's Peyton. I'm obsessed with her. She's 2.5.
So sweet.
Yes, she's so sweet. She's like a mini me. And then your son is her age too. We discovered this the other day. He's a month younger than Peyton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have that in common as well. So you're doing it all, honestly. You are.
Trying to.
Yes.
I mean, some days I don't know.
We're all trying to. But tell me about and let's chat a bit about how, your journey to go being an admin to now a team leader. Like how did that all end up the way it did?
Yeah. So I was part of a mother-daughter team for, I guess, 5 years. And then Christy, who I worked with at the time, merged with Jeff Ham, became kind of a big mega team. Stayed with them for 3 years. And then I left, started my own team, hired my first admin. I think it was actually within 6 weeks now that I'm rethinking it. And then,
imagine you were an admin, so you knew the value of an admin.
I knew the value of it right away. And I knew with the type of volume that I did, there was no way in hell I couldn't do it without somebody else. I hope we can swear on this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good, girl.
Okay,
good. That wasn't even swearing nowadays. Hell.
I know hell. I get like a bunch of blurbs. No. But yeah, and then did that. And then it's been an interesting, I guess it's like almost 4 years now of being on my own. But an interesting kind of journey with that, I guess, because I did go from a team of 1 to a team of 5 back to a team of 1. I dismantled my whole team.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So did that and then completely rebuilt because I realized I'd built everything wrong.
Damn. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with taking steps back to take steps forward.
No. And you know what? The biggest thing for me, I realized, and you and I were kind of talking about this before, I was creating a bad culture within my own team. I was making bad hires. The people that were working with me, they didn't really care about my clients or the business the same way that I did. So dismantled it.
Yeah, that is like so important.
So important.
But the other thing I think that people don't talk about enough is the fact that, we started as salespeople, right?
Let's say.
we're out there selling, we're enjoying it. And then we say, oh, let's build a team. Like this looks
so
like
let's hire
fun.
somebody.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let's get some leverage.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you run a team, you are now sort of running a startup in a way.
100%.
Right? Like there's all the departments, marketing, accounting, HR. What else is there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's management, it's operations, HR, marketing, accounting, like you said, the business growth projector. You are everything in addition to, and I think it's the same in your case, being the lead sales agent.
100%.
Which is tough because you're now everything. So if you're used to, running 100 miles a minute, producing all these sales, how do all those little hats fit on there? And what's that do for your time?
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like when I started my team, which was in 2017, we did do a lot of deals that year. Was myself and a buyer agent, but that was just an insane year. I remember. But I mean,
2017 was an insane year. 2018,
we did like
60
something transactions, me and Mira.
Yeah.
That was back in the day.
And Mira.
Yes. So you decide to build a team. And back in 2017, when I brought on a buyer agent like you, I was kind of like, oh, wow, like you're really cute. You're pretty. You sound well, like, I just thought, okay, let's try this. Right. So sort of, trial and error.
Yep.
And then anyways, it did work out with her for a few years as my buyer agent. But I think the thing that people don't talk about enough in this industry is, as I said, when you're running, let's say a startup, a business, essentially, we're the CEO. Like I never went to school for business, right? Like my background was criminology, was a minor in philosophy and stuff like that.
But you were Border Patrol, right?
Yeah, Border Patrol. Yeah. But it's like, you sort of don't have the basis to run a business, right? Like, how did you learn all of this? Or is it YouTube? What is it?
No. So you know what? So I actually did go to school for business.
Okay. I went for one up on me, girl.
No. Okay. It was marketing. Let's not get too crazy.
But still, we are marketers as realtors.
And it's funny because that's my favorite part of the business. Like I love the marketing side of it, but I'm fortunate. Like both my parents have worked in business forever and, had high up roles where they had to manage people and do forecasting and all that jazz.
Oh, wow.
So I guess I've heard enough of the conversation. They've always been really good sounding boards for me, which was great. But actually my sales manager, Jamie, that is my dad. So
Get out.
So I brought him in.
Okay, guys.
He retired for 4 days.
That's the secret. Hire your dad.
Hire your dad. I honestly think it is the secret because if they have business experience or hire your mom, they'll protect your business, right?
Wow. So I really love that. See, I'm finding out all this stuff about you, but that is incredible. Wow.
So for me, like I don't like managing. I love leading. I hate managing. I hate HR. My sister's in HR. She tells me I'm not compliant every day, which hopefully my team doesn't know that. But it's like, those are my kryptonites. So I've just kind of learned, okay, if I'm going to keep growing, I have to make sure that I'm filling those different boxes, if you will, with different people because it's something I don't ever want to do.
For sure. I mean,
I never want to hire someone.
They say you should make like a job description of all the things you like to do and the things you don't like to do. You should make a separate post to find that person that will do all those things. But yeah, I think the crazy thing is like, and I don't know about you, but when I started in real estate, like no one really talked about running a business in real estate. Like it was sort of like people were just selling.
But you know what? I don't think a lot of agents run businesses.
Still
like,
to this day,
I think if you actually were like, hey, you want to chat about your P&L with me? They'd go.
Do you know the first time I ever heard about any of this stuff was at Keller Williams. And you never forget where you came from. And that's where we met as KW. I met so many amazing people that I still have really great relationships with till this day. Just like,
Me
our
too.
friendship.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first place where I learned about, hiring an admin and knowing your numbers and leverage.
Creating a 30, 60, 90 and following 33 through.
touch, right? Yep. So I think that, it's interesting that we both sort of were there and here we are today, right? But like you said, a lot of people might learn these things, but they don't actually implement them.
And it's funny too, because I know a lot of people they don't ever want to share their secrets. But for me, I'm like, here's my book of everything. Like I'm an open book because I know 5% will implement.
100%.
So as twisted as that is, like, I don't care because you're not actually going to do it, as bad as that sounds.
Yep. No, for sure. That's insane. It's crazy how many agents, let's say, will hear the information, you open, behind the curtain, so to speak, and then they don't implement. But yeah, running a team and being a mom though, like how have you found that? Because for me, honestly, if I didn't have the team, like I don't think I even would be in real estate, truthfully. Like I couldn't have even had a family.
I think for me, I had to decide. It was either, okay, I'm going to do significantly less volume and then be okay with that and have my family, or I need to grow fast and I need to figure out what that is. That's where I went with that decision.
So your daughter's 2.5.
Yep.
And you started your team how many years ago? 4.
4 now.
Okay, so you started building, but you said you also...
Oh, no, sorry. So I left Christy and Jeff's team 2020, September 2020, and I got pregnant January 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
But during the time where you were building the team, you also just said, I think you sort of dismantled it and put it back together.
I dismantled. So when Peyton was 9 months old, it would have been July, I guess, or 10 months old, I fired everybody. I fired the ones that didn't quit, right? So then I was on my own for probably another, oh my gosh, no, I guess it was long. I hired a virtual assistant and she stayed with me until May of that following year.
You've got a great memory, by the way, because you're really nailing these dates.
Kind of creepy. May 15th, Emily joined. She was my first new hire, and she came on as an admin.
Wow.
And then she grew into a sales agent.
Speaking of admins, I think we were talking off camera. You did say that something happened around 6 weeks when your daughter was 6 weeks old.
So my admin quit at the time.
Honestly.
And then I'm so desperate for hiring, right? Because you have this newborn that's screaming and crying. You have clients that are calling. You have nobody. So I hired everybody that came across my desk. And in that fiscal year,
you've got a pulse, you're hired.
100%. Yeah. And in that fiscal year, I hired 10 admins. So that burn, churn. And everybody, it was a bad culture fit because I was so desperate. It just didn't matter.
I have done some desperate things in my personal life and in real estate because of desperation with like childcare and stuff like that.
Desperate. So yeah, dismantled. And then it's funny, like now I'm removed from hiring, like for all of those reasons. Because
I love that.
Yeah.
Who's doing the hiring now? Is it your dad?
Yeah, he does. Well, sort of him and Tiff. So Tiff runs the operations team. So she focuses more on that. And then Jamie, my dad, hires all the salespeople. And then I go on my merry way because it's my kryptonite. And like, I have no interest in doing it. I hate it. So
I think we have to chat more off camera.
Yeah. Like I sit in on the interviews, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the thing is like, we're not all amazing at all the things, right?
Oh, no.
I love to prospect and I really love my team. And I think like 14 years later, I sort of want to run the team more. But, I have to hire some other key people. But, on your point, how someone quit on you six weeks in when you had your daughter.
No notice. So
we actually switched brokerages 2 years ago. And we switched brokerages and I had my director of operations at the time, Adrian, who's still a good friend. She decided that she was leaving and my son I think he was like 5 months. It was very tough. Like I literally was like, and honestly, even when my daughter was born, my admin at the same time also quit another one that I had. It's
so bizarre.
I just think people, I understand people have like their lives and whatever, but it's like, when you're really doing that to like someone that's really in a time of need, I really think 6 weeks in,
and I think it's more twisted when someone has a kid and they do it.
Oh God, the person had a kid. Yeah, not cool. But so when my director of operations, so that was 2022 when she left, I literally was like, I can't do this. Like, just like, I was like, I don't know. Like I was grieving. Like, I just was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to do this and hire someone again? Like,
it's miserable.
It's brutal.
And then the thing is too, this, like your phone's ringing. So for me, like my clients, they want me. So I'm trying to do all this stuff, trying to make my clients happy because that's my biggest thing. I never not want to make a client happy.
I know.
So then you're in this stress cycle.
Yeah. And it's hard. People don't get it. They don't understand. And yeah, I think us moms, like the amount of hats that we're wearing, like I think if you hire like a mom that's doing all of this, like, you know that they really must love it. Because otherwise, like, why would you? Why would you add like the stress that you know exactly what I'm talking about? Like, I don't do this for the money. I don't know about you.
No, I don't. It's funny too, because my husband sometimes will be like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like,
my husband often asks me the same thing.
I think I like it. He's like, the stress and anxiety. I'm like, I think so. But it is. It's seriously, it's like an adrenaline rush. But for me, I love leadership. I love watching people grow. I love seeing them, get their first sale, and then that one sale turns into 10 sales and they're thriving. That's what makes me happy. And obviously making my clients happy. So with that comes the responsibility of running a team.
Yeah.
But then it's like, how do I do forecasting? How do I do HO? And I have a kid.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And obviously I have two. So for me, it's like, spread thin for sure. And, time blocking and all those things. But there aren't a lot of, let's say, female young team leaders. Like can you think of many other, like sometimes I try and think.
I think there's maybe 15.
Yeah.
10 to 15 that I could name if I had to sit here and name. And I think I'd struggle.
Yeah. I just think like most people, especially if they're moms, they sort of put their business on hold during those years. Yep. Like that's what I find.
Well, and I think the thing too in our industry is you have to either, do what I said, which is you scale back your business or you have it explode and you go, okay, I'm ripping the Band-Aid and bring it on, because you can't be in the in-between, because that's when you lose clients. Right.
For sure. For sure. I mean, for me though, like having kids and being in real estate, like my priority is my kids. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like I want to be with them at bedtime, right? Like, so unless it's like, the client can't meet any other time, like I'm there, right?
Yeah. Something that I've done, and it did take me about 1.5 years to become really diligent on this, but I only provide times for clients. Like if it's an evening appointment, that's either before dinner or after dinner. So it's like, I'm here for dinner or I'm here for bedtime. One of the two. Like I'm not missing both. But I would schedule myself for both, and then I'm not there. And then
and then how did that affect your relationship? We haven't talked much about your husband, your partner, but you're not a single mom.
I'm not a single mom. No, Ryan. Yeah. Yes. And it's funny because it affected my relationship with him, because he was like, I don't get how this isn't bugging you. Yeah. And it didn't bug me at first, I think, because I was so used to it. But then you do it enough times and you're like, whoa, now it's bugging me.
But how old was Peyton at that time, let's say?
I don't think I developed that skill set of separating the two probably till she was about 1 year. So up until about 1 year.
Yeah.
So
wild. And tell me about Ryan.
So what do you want to know? He's a Taurus. He's brown eyes. He's dreamy.
So he's your partner, and you were sharing how he's like super supportive and
he's like, unbelievable.
Because I asked you like when we were chatting the other day, like who does laundry? Who does chores?
Right? I know. I told Shauna that Ryan's obsessed with me. That's why he does everything. But no, he's like super dad. He's honestly, I think, better than me at a lot of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. So he runs his own company too. He has a team of 4, so he's super busy. But
does he work from home?
No, he has an office.
Oh, wow. So he goes into the office.
Goes into the office 3 or 4 days a week. Yep. And then works from home another 1 day or 2. His business is super demanding too. He's in freight sales. So he's busy. He's kind of all over the place. But yeah, no,
So not in real estate. A lot of times people say to me like, oh, your husband's in real estate? No. And I'm like, nope.
No. Because what's your husband do?
He's in industrial sector. So he's running a tech startup that's venture backed. So
he's busy too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And a lot of pressure on him. So he is not able to do any of the stuff. Like he's there obviously as a father, and he's amazing. Also an incredible dad. Yeah. But he can't he's just on calls, traveling. Like it's demanding. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I think for me too, like I'm really happy when I'm out selling and I'm at appointments or even an open house. And I think for Ryan,
you're still doing open houses yourself?
Sometimes, not as much, but I would say probably 2 a month.
Okay.
But he sees how happy I am. Where if he says, "Hey, can you meal prep for the week, or could you do this?" I'm not happy. I'm miserable. I want to be doing this, and
so it's safe to say you wouldn't want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, no. I mean, kudos to stay-at-home moms, but
I'm saying that's not what your strong suit is.
No. It doesn't make me happy. But yeah, he does a lot.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you guys have
busier I am, though, the more productive I am too. So that's the other thing. But yeah.
No, and I like how you said, a lot of this is adrenaline, because sometimes I ask, like, why am I still doing this all these years later? Because it isn't for the money. It's
because you're addicted to a certain kind of sadness.
I don't know what it is.
You seen that meme?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
That's what they say about real estate. Like you're addicted to a certain kind of sadness. It's
the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And I mean, now I have a team that, they're just so incredible that
so
they're
mine.
like family. And I just can't picture not working in real estate with them. So a lot of times I think I do it for them, honestly.
Yeah. I would say kind of the same now that I have a really, really good team and everybody's kind of in sync with one another and we are like a family, but a lot of it is for me. So I think for myself too, like you said, a lot of women have to give up their career. And for me from day one, that was never an option. It was, we're ripping the Band-Aid and we're going big if we're going to have kids. So, I don't ever want Peyton to say mommy gave up or mommy didn't achieve her dream.
So important. And I don't think that was the mindset years ago. Like
no, God, no.
20 years ago.
God, no. No, it was so common that women just stayed home or took the back seat. And, the concept of leverage too wasn't really a thing. So,
honestly, so much has changed.
I know.
It's insane.
And it's good. It's good
crazy.
Though, because there's so many female leaders and women in business that are
still not enough though.
No, definitely not enough.
I think
there probably never will be, sadly, enough, but there's more that are emerging, which is great.
Crazy. My daughter the other day, she whispered in my ear and I was like, what's she going to say?
Yeah, what's she whispering?
She was like, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a real estater.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's cute. I've never heard that before. And I asked her again the other day. She's like, yep, I still want to do that.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm like, oh my God, you're 4.5. Like, do you really want to do this? And I wondered,
are you positive?
Did she hear like all the conversations, because she's in my belly for 9 months and now like, totally. Hearing everything all the time. But I don't know. Would you want Peyton to be in 100%. Real estate? Okay.
Yeah. I joke. She's my succession plan. No, but you know what? She is a little mini me. So I can't, unless her personality changes, which maybe it will. But for me, like I can never, if I ever had to work in corporate, I couldn't.
Yeah. So before being an admin, what did you have any other, I don't know how many jobs you had before
So
that?
I guess the highlight job that kind of led into sales, if you will. So I was a territory sales manager and trainer for Epson printers.
Get out.
Yeah.
Okay. That is huge.
So that was actually great. I started that. I was really young. I was like 19 or something.
You were a manager?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've sort of done this role before. For me, it was all new.
Let's backtrack on the term manager. It was a territory manager. So I managed the stores, not people. That was the difference. So I managed their inventory and what they needed.
Okay.
But not the human being side of it.
Right. Yeah.
Which
the
is
human
totally
being
different.
side of it is quite tricky.
Yeah.
It's not,
No.
Yeah. I just, being in this business it's so much of everything, you will. Right.
What do you find the hardest thing for you juggling motherhood and team, being a wife, being you?
Yeah. It's just everything.
Everything.
And I think really the solution is time blocking, but
you should see my calendar.
Yeah. I think that's the solution. And, I need to do more of it, but I'm sorting it all out now. You know what I mean? I just think, we don't realize how much we do. And, I was speaking with Robin Kerwin the other day, and she was like, Cynthia, like most agents, right?
Yeah.
They're doing, let's say 20, 30 transactions. They have an admin and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like,
they don't have a team.
She's like, you're doing that. Plus all of this, the podcast.
Yeah.
All these things.
Well, and I think the thing too is that, if somebody's doing 20 to 30 deals a year with an admin, that's exceptional too, right? So, and then, taking on a team, being a mom, podcasting, all the other fun stuff. So it's all little jobs.
My production actually went down when I started my team. I don't know if that happened to you or if it's just me, but I was doing, let's say 40 deals a year when I was on my own up until like 2017, which again, I don't know if that's like are most agents doing 40 deals on their own anymore? I don't think so. I feel like it's gotten a bit harder.
I think it's less now, I would say. My production did drop too when I first started my team, but it exploded when I rebuilt.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was, hiring the right people and not having the the burn and churn door, the revolving door of admins.
Yeah, because every time you lose an admin, it's like, oh my God.
Well, that's the hiring process.
Where do you, that plus once you have them, right? And I know you have a new admin that just started a second one with you this week. But it's, my God, it's the learning curve, right? Like just how you do things, the way your team operates, you know, like everything, right?
Totally.
So do you guys use systems with the team? Like, are you database heavy?
I'm married to the systems.
You're married to the systems. Yeah.
Yeah. We use Follow Up Boss religiously, but everything has a system. Like our G Drive is like on steroids. Mm-hmm. Every little department has their own operations handbook. So
wow, that is incredible. Yeah. No, I see you crushing it. I think you were saying to me, how many appointments have you been on this year? Supermom?
92.
92 appointments, guys. It is possible with a small little 2.5-year-old.
That's not including my team.
Yeah, no, that just herself.
Just me.
You heard that, everyone. 92 appointments. This lady is crushing it.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
So what's your favorite part about real estate? I know you said you love to be busy out there in the field.
The appointment.
Okay.
The appointment and then developing the relationship with the client.
Do you feel like the public understands that all realtors are not the same? Do you feel like...
No, sorry. You know what? I take that back, actually. On the surface, no, I don't think they understand. I think they think we're all kind of similar. And I think that we don't have a great reputation. But it's funny.
I would agree.
Yeah. But I welcome the opportunity to compete. When someone tells me I'm competing, I'm almost happier because then it's my time to shine, right? And if I get beaten, cool. That's okay. I've lost fair and square, if you will. But I think once that interview process is done, then they understand the difference.
For sure.
Because it's in the pre-listing systems, how you show up, you know, the post-meeting system. So,
wow. How many hours a day do you think you're working?
That's a really good question.
Because I think you said 10 to 3 or 10 to 4, but then do you really unplug after dinner?
So I work in the morning. I will work from like 6 to 7:30, and I'm the most productive in that time frame because there's nobody there.
So is that when Peyton's still sleeping?
It's when she's sleeping, yeah. So then she gets up, I get ready, we do our thing. And then I would say I probably work like 9:30 to 4:30 from that. So what is that, 7 hours, 8.5 hours, and then in the night. So if you put it all together, I'd still say I'm probably 55 hours a week.
So, okay, 55 hours a week, guys.
50 to 55. And once you factor in night appointments
and when you
weekends.
say in the night, what does that mean? She works in the night.
She works in the night. She's a lady of the night. They go by my office. It's like the red light. They're like, whoa. I mean like showings, appointments, that type of stuff.
So when do you unwind?
After that, at night.
So what time is that?
I don't. Like 10?
10 p.m.? And what's unwinding for you, Kyrsten?
I watch Gossip Girl on repeat in my bed. Yeah. Okay. That's it. What about you?
Is that with Ryan or like?
No.
So when do you guys connect?
Yeah, he's there. He just kind of like looks at me, I guess. I'm like, don't speak to me. I'm tired.
No, it's like the reason I ask is because like we were talking a little bit off camera how it's so hard to have balance in this world of being a team leader and a mom and all these things.
Nope.
So you think it doesn't exist?
I think that there's ebbs and flows of it, but I think that my opinion and my experience with trying to achieve balance is that there's different sections, right? So, you know, 1 month my life will be super balanced and Ryan and I spend every day together with Peyton and life is happy. And then the next month, you know, life is still happy, but I'm with my clients every day.
Right.
And then the next month, you know, I'm at the gym. Like it's just the ebbs and flows of that. But him and I, like, we try to go on a date night once a month, but family dinners are super.
Once a month.
Okay. Family dinners are super important to me. So
okay, so you're seeing him during dinner.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. And like that's something that is not, I don't compromise that. Like I said,
non-negotiable.
Nope. Family dinner or Peyton's bedtime. I'm there for one of them. And that's when we kind of connect.
Got it. And Peyton's there during dinner. You're obviously all having dinner together, right?
Yeah. We usually ignore her and she's like, mommy, like whatever.
And so who's putting her to bed and all of that?
Him or I. Like we juggle. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what? Who puts?
I guess both. Like, how do you
obviously
connect?
with two. Oh, with my husband?
Yeah.
I mean, we're working on it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like we definitely try to connect once the kids have gone to sleep, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, routines are changing and trying new things. So now he's going to bed at 9:30 and I work from 9:30 to midnight.
Got it.
So you're just trying different things, right? But it's like, if I don't do that, the 9:30 to midnight, which I'm not going to be doing that much longer, I'm definitely figuring it all out. Yeah. But if I didn't do that right now, I'd be falling behind. So,
well, and this is just the thing. And I think that that's why there is no balance. And I look even, there were months where every day Ryan would say, like, you have to turn your phone off.
Yeah. Like, my husband.
What is going on?
Like, he'll be like, take that out of here.
Out of here. And for me, it was, I just kept saying to him, I said, okay, like, it's really hard, but you have to bear with me for 6 to 8 weeks, because once we're through this, then, this next hire will happen, or this will happen. So it's him, like, kind of trusting my process, which he's super supportive of, and I'm very fortunate. But there definitely were months where he would just be like, why? Yeah. Having dinner with your phone. Like,
yeah. No, for sure. And the thing is, like, as realtors, we're always on our phone, right? Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know. Where will we be in 10 years? I know you mentioned,
I know they'll probably like microchip us.
Oh my God. I don't know. We've come such a long way, honestly. We're still in the industry, which, most people,
they quit after 2 years.
Exactly. I think it's like 85%.
I'm like a dinosaur now.
Oh my God, you are not a dinosaur.
No, but I always joke that I'm like archaic in this business, because everyone, they see me and they're like, you're so young. When did you start?
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, you're like, I've been around for
12 years ago. I was 22 and here I am. But yeah, so.
Well, you've built some amazing systems.
Yeah,
it
so have
sounds
you.
like your team is like rocking and rolling.
Thank
and
you.
I'm just so happy for all your success. So
yeah,
thank you for coming on this
Thanks
show.
for having me. It's been fun.
Thank you. Incredible.
Yeah.
Where can people reach you if they want to find out more?
Oh, Feere Team. That's our Instagram. Is that, you want me to give that?
Yeah, wherever you are the most.
KFEERE Team, Instagram. Go there.
Amazing. And I'll have more about her in the show notes. So thank you everyone for tuning in again. Remember to check out our YouTube channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to hear the audio version, head over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.